Hey girls, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm Jazz and I am obsessed with the show With Love Meghan on Netflix. It's the lifestyle and cooking show hosted by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And yes, I've been obsessed and I am determined to make almost every recipe and craft from both seasons of the show plus the holiday special. This is the second recipe that I'm trying, and guys, why did I want to take on a 3-layer cake? So when I saw this episode, this is episode 1. This is still the episode with our makeup artist, Daniel. If you tuned in last week, you'll see that I made the 1 skillet spaghetti that they made together. It was really good, by the way. This week, I'm gonna make the honey lemon layer cake with raspberry. As you can tell by my island, okay, my prep space, my cooking space, I have everything I need here. But y'all, baking is so involved. And you know how you have a really good idea sometimes? Like in my mind, taking on a 3-layer cake was such a good idea. I was like, this is gonna be so much fun. The cake looked so cute. Meghan made it look so easy. Girls, I am not a baker. I'm barely a cook. If you didn't tune in last time, I told a brief story about the fact that I knew how to cook to survive and to like feed myself, but I didn't start cooking until my husband and I got together. As a matter of fact, my mom infamously had this joke when I was younger because my little sister, Layla, would always be in the kitchen with her and I would never be in the kitchen. And my mom was like, you know what, Jazz? One thing you will be able to make when you're older, reservations. That was the running joke in our house. So nobody anticipated me like being a domestic goddess, but here I am in a dress in the kitchen, real trad wife stuff. Shout out to the trad wives. That's not what's going on here, even though things are a little traditional around here, but it's not in that way. The holes that I am digging. Anyway, making a cake, let alone a 3-layer cake, is so involved. And I didn't realize it until I was literally prepping all of the ingredients. Now, I did a good amount of stuff off camera because you don't really want to sit through me zesting 2 lemons, although zesting fruit has actually become very relaxing. The art and the practice of cooking is actually very relaxing in a way that I don't think I ever anticipated when I was younger, but now that I do it so much more, it is very relaxing, especially because I have a TV in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys can see my Amazon Echo show behind me, but I turn on like a TV show. Typically, I will turn on like a cooking show when I'm in the kitchen cooking, or if I am behind on any of my reality TV stuff, I'll turn that on. Basically something that I can have in the background, but not anything that I need to like hunker down and pay attention to. I'll turn on the TV and then I make my meals, and it does make everything go a lot easier, a lot smoother. When I was little, we used to have a TV in the kitchen. My mom had a daycare in our house growing up, and so she worked from home essentially. But because she had a daycare, right, she spent a lot of time in the kitchen. And I remember we would watch like music videos. This was back when the box was super popular. So we would watch music videos and stuff in the kitchen when we were eating in there. My mom would be watching her like stories, Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, all that stuff when she would be in there cooking during the day. So I grew up with a TV in the kitchen. And when we bought this house, I was telling my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to have a TV in the kitchen. It's so nostalgic to me. It reminds me of my mom. The next day, there's a package that's delivered. So my husband brings it in and he's like, hey, I got you this. I open it up. It was the Amazon Echo show. He got me a TV for the kitchen because I mentioned that I really wanted one. And it was just such a sweet gesture. He's such a sweet and thoughtful person in that way. When I mention things that I like or that I want, he typically will like order it without me knowing. Anyway, you guys don't want to hear all of these stories. You want me to get down to this cooking, partially because maybe kind of you might want to see how I do with my first time making a 3-layer cake. I'm going to tell you, set your expectations low. In my mind, I can do this, but I don't know if I'm gonna be that successful. So let's get started with the recipe. There are about 3 parts for this recipe. There's the first part where you actually prepare the cakes. Then there is the preparation of the honey lemon syrup. And then there is the preparation of the buttercream frosting that you'll put on top of the cake when it's done. So let's start with part 1, and that's gonna be the preparation of the actual cakes. And we have to start by spraying down our cake pans. Now, we're gonna now spray the parchment rounds, because that's where you're gonna actually pour the cakes on. So I'm gonna put these over to the side, and we're gonna get started on actually formulating the cakes. We're actually gonna sift our dry ingredients while we do this. In the words of Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey, the ingredients they really do become the drama. So let's pour, we're gonna sift this flour in. Y'all, I've always wanted to sift flour, I'm not gonna lie. One of my other dreams is coming true right now. I'm not gonna overload that though. Okay, all of our dry ingredients are sifted. We got them here, they're nice and cozy. We're gonna put the sifters away. We're also gonna clean up the station just a little bit. If you guys watch With Love Meghan, you know that she talks about how she likes to clean as she goes. I do as well. It just makes things easier, and I don't like cooking in like a dirty station. So we're gonna take all of the vessels and containers that held our dry ingredients. We're gonna set them over here, and we're gonna get them out of the way just to clear up some of our workspace. Now we can put the dry bowl over there and get started with the wet ingredient. Also, you'll notice in this video, I'm not actually needing to watch Meghan and Daniel make the recipe because this is one of the recipes that Netflix actually put on their Tudum website for the show. So I'm just reading along with the recipe versus having to watch it, pause it, do what they're doing on the screen, and then come back to the video, which is making it a lot easier for me this time around. So now for the wet ingredient, y'all, it's taking everything out of me to not say ingredients. Teresa, you will always be famous. So we're gonna go in with our eggs, our milk, and I will also link this full recipe in the description of this video. So don't worry if you're watching this and you might want to cook along with me. I will give you the link so that you can actually read it and you don't have to wonder what I'm doing or how much I have of each thing. So we got the egg, milk, olive oil. So I will just say one thing that I did differently with this recipe is it calls for 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. I actually put in a full cup of olive oil because as much as I like the show, the cake looked a touch dry by the time she cut into it. I love a very moist cake, okay? I know moist is a hilarious word, and it's actually one of my least favorite words in the English dictionary, but when it comes to talking about cake, I will let the word moist slide. So I put a little more oil because when you add a little more oil, it makes the cake more moist. Now, I don't know if this was too much oil to add because again, I'm not a baker, so I guess we'll see with the final product, but I'm hoping for like, you guys know the movie Matilda when Bruce is eating that 3-layer chocolate cake. I think it's 3 layers. It's a multi-layer chocolate cake. I dream about that cake, by the way. When he's eating that chocolate cake, that cake was moist, okay? That's the type of moistness that I'm talking about that I want in my cakes. Now we're gonna add in our lemon zest. Oh, it's stuck. It wants to be stuck to the little bowl. Okay, I might have to go in and do this with my hands because the lemon zest wanted to be stuck. So now that we've whisked together all of our wet ingredients, we're gonna combine the dry with the wet, but we're gonna have to mix that in. So I'm gonna get rid of my whisk and I'm gonna get like a rubber spatula. So let's see how that is. So now we're combining the dry with the wet. Look at that, that was seamless. Okay, okay. So now we're gonna just mix this together so we can start forming our actual cakes. This is looking a little chunky. Is a spatula the right thing that I should be using here? In the words of Lil Uzi Vert, I don't know. It's my 3rd day out here, but it's not even my 3rd day out here. It's my 1st day out here in these baking streets. I think so. Should I use like my hand mixer for this? So everything is combined and we need to pour these evenly into the cake pans. I don't know how that's supposed to happen. We're just gonna wing it because how am I supposed to know if I'm pouring things evenly? You're supposed to just eyeball it, but I'm too new to this. So we're just gonna see. We're gonna try our best. Okay. 1. I don't know, guys. Okay, I'll pour a little bit at a time. Just give everything like a thin first layer. And then I'll go back in with the remaining amount of the batter. Look at that. I'm not lying, guys. I don't know if you can see this, but they all look pretty evenly distributed to me. Who would have known? And I mean, Listen, math is not amongst one of the things that I am particularly good at, so I'm actually proud of myself that I eyeballed this and it seems like we got a decent ratio. Let's see. Should I try the batter? I'm scared. Wait. Okay, it tastes like cake batter. Yeah. Now, according to the recipe, at this point, we just need to pop these babies in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which my oven is already preheated. I've been baking, by the way, because it is hot in my kitchen now because the oven is on. Anyway, put these in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes and then we'll bring them out and we'll see what we have. So guys, I had to quickly take these out of the oven again because I just realized I didn't put the honey in the batter, which the cake is literally called a honey layer lemon cake with raspberries. Honey is so important. So it calls for 3 tablespoons of honey to be put in the batter. Because I've already divided my batter, I'm just gonna put a tablespoon of honey into each cake pan. I know, but isn't this so cute? Look at this, it's like a honeycomb. Anyway, this honey is so good, you guys. We went to a farmer's market a couple weeks ago and this man named David, he was selling his honey from his farm. And the honey is called David's Wow Honey. And my husband got it. Like, I tried some of it and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need honey anyway for my cake that I'm making. I was calling it my Meghan Sussex cake. I was like, I'm gonna need honey for that anyway. And my husband was like, oh, you like this? I was like, yeah. He bought the honey for me, y'all. Why the hell was the honey $50? I was like, I don't think I've ever spent that much on honey because I just usually get it from the grocery store. I'm having deja vu. I feel like I've told this story already. Did I tell it in my last video? Anyway, I mean, the honey is good, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong, but I was just like, whoa, honey being $50 is kind of crazy. But hey, who are we to tell somebody how much to charge for the honey from their bees on their farm? So I have the honey in the mixture. If this video ever makes it to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, I know you're probably laughing so hard at me, girl, but I had to make this cake. When I saw you and Daniel making it in the episode, I was like, this cake looks so cute and it looks really tasty. And I'm getting more into my hosting bag. And so I was like, if I make this cake and it works out, this could totally be a staple recipe for me. So if you ever see this, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, look at your impact. So while the cakes are in the oven, we are gonna get started on our lemon honey syrup. So it calls for a ½ cup of honey. Honey is just so sticky, but the way that the honey is rolling down this, it reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. He would love this. Winnie, you be so proud, sweetie. 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 cup of water, and the zest from a lemon. I'm actually gonna zest the 1 lemon right after I put this honey in. That way I can just slice the lemons open and juice them for the lemon juice. I'm gonna juice this other lemon too. Actually, I don't know how many lemons you need for 1/4 cup of lemon juice, but guess we're about to find out. Literally perfect. If you guys are watching, if you ever need 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 2 small lemons should do the trick. Anyway, I'm so proud of that. And then we also need 1/4 cup of water. I'm gonna pour this into a saucepan so that it can start to make our syrup. We're gonna bring the syrup to a simmer and then we're gonna take it off the stove. Now in the show and also on the recipe, it says you wanna stick a toothpick into the cake and see if it comes out clean. So I'm gonna do that to see if it's all done. Let's see. Stick it in, pull it out. It pulled out clean. It pulled out clean. Can you guys tell I'm getting kind of excited because I don't think I completely failed at this. At least not the baking part. Now, when we get to decorating that cake, that might be another story, but I think I did okay with the baking part. The thing that is the most intimidating when it comes to baking is the precision, right? You have to be precise with each measurement of the dry and wet ingredients because anything over or under, it could make your baked good not rise, not set properly. In this case, could make it dry or too moist. I don't know if that's even a thing, but I know one day I will grow up and not laugh at saying the word moist, but you have to be precise and that's hard for Elmo sometimes. That can be a little hard. But, you know, having a recipe that's easy to follow, I think is why I have arrived here, where at least these cake layers look like something. So thank you, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and Netflix, the Netflix team, for making that recipe very easy to follow. We're gonna take these out of the pans and then put them on these cooling racks. And then I have to make another trip to Publix to pick up some more powdered sugar. Okay, so I'm back from Publix. I got the right amount of powdered sugar, and I actually did the frosting mixture off camera. Look at that. I can't believe I made my own frosting. Talk to me nice, okay? Talk to me nicely. So what we need to do now is cut like the little bumps off the top of these cake layers so that we can assemble them nice and flatly on top of each other. Oh my gosh, this has like holes in them. If you have, what is it called? Trypophobia or something. Like if you have like a thing with like holes, don't look down because there's definitely holes in these. That'll be the bottom layer. This will be the middle layer, which means, let's see. Okay. Which means I have to actually kind of perform a small miracle here with this third one because this one has to be perfect. Now let's see, we have to have complete silence. Or maybe we're gonna have the Big Brother music, like the Big Brother veto challenge music. Am I gonna get the power of veto or no? On Big Brother, the pressure is on, the pressure is on. Ah! Okay, I mean, hopefully everyone else in the challenge did worse. It's better than the other two layers for sure, so this will be certainly our top layer. So I'm gonna just try to use all of this syrup. I do appreciate the fact that it is bringing a lot of moisture onto this cake. Like the cake looks spongy. Okay, so we have our cake layers brushed with the syrup. So now we're gonna start assembling the cake. Look at my cute little cake holder or cake, what is it called? Cake display. I don't know. I got this from Home Goods. It's so cute. I love the color. Of course, it had to go in the dishwasher. Anytime I buy new dishes, serveware, utensils, anything that I'm going to put food in and eat out of, when I buy it from the store, I put it right into the dishwasher before I use it because you just never know. The first layer, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's actually time to assemble it. Okay. That is layer one. So we're just gonna frost each layer, all right? I know it's not the way she did it on the show. Gotta improvise though. Is this gonna be a lot of frosting? Probably, yeah. And I think we're gonna just do that. Try to do like a thinner layer too, because it's just like a lot of frosting on there right now. I have to find a way to work in these preserves because in the recipe, it tells you to pipe a line around the first layer with the frosting and then go inside of that and pipe in a layer of the preserves. But that's gonna be our first layer of frosting. And now we're gonna put some preserves on that. So I got the raspberry spread from As Ever. I actually ordered the fruit spread trio from As Ever. So I have the raspberry spread, strawberry, and the orange marmalade. And I also ordered the edible flour sprinkles too that were very prominent in season 1 of With Love Meghan. And I'm gonna be making some donuts with those. So make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. So let's go ahead and put the raspberry spread onto this first layer. Now I'm just gonna like pour a little bit over it. It's kind of reminding me of like toast or like cream cheese with jam on it or fruit spread. If you're watching this and you are like super familiar with the show, this looks nothing like what they were doing, but I'm just making it work. I need piping bags. The next time I try this, I'm gonna buy piping bags. Okay, now we're on the last layer. We did it, Joe. Now I need to see exactly how I'm supposed to frost this layer. Oh shoot, girl, and the layers are sliding. You know what? I've tried my best. I'm gonna just hold this here, see if we can get through this top layer, and then we can do our thing. Okay, y'all, at this point, this is not the same cake from the show, and I recognize that. So at this point, I think I'm just freestyling with the decorations for the cake because we've gone a little off the rails here. And yes, it's messy, but I tried my best, and this is the first. This is the first attempt. What is it saying? You have to be bad at something in order to be good at something. So I can't just be successful at everything on the first go round. And that's usually how I live my life. If I'm not really good at something right away, I get discouraged, but I'm learning that's just not the way that life works, okay? Sometimes you're just gonna be bad at stuff. And if you keep going with it though, you can improve. So my cake baking and decorating, we're at about a 2 right now. We're at about a 2. Actually, no, I'll give us like a 3.5 because we did bake the cake. Like the actual cakes formed. So we followed the baking directions. I'm literally still trying, y'all, to make this look presentable. I think it's a lost cause. We're gonna get the raspberries and then we're gonna decorate them with the raspberries. It's like putting lipstick on a pig, is it not? Okay, we've got our raspberries. Oh my gosh, y'all, my cake looks so different from hers. Let me just wash these off. So we have the freshly rinsed raspberries and we're gonna start assembling these at the top. So in this show, she assembles them in 3s. Or wait, 2s. Okay, yeah, she assembles them in 2s. I'm gonna do 3s though. I'm gonna do 3s. I'm just cutting some basil leaves because she put like some little basil leaves on the cake and everything was so cutesy. The thing about me is I'm very driven by aesthetics, and so I love things that are beautiful. I like to wear things that are beautiful. I like to be around things and people that are beautiful. So when I make an attempt at something beautiful, and it turns out like this, I literally have the cake that she made. It's on my iPad screen. Let's just say I'm not close. And then it's like the raspberries with the green is kind of reminding me of Christmas. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can make this for Christmas. I have a while to practice it though. You just gotta keep going. If at first you don't succeed, what did my girl Lilia say? Dust yourself off and try again. And then she had like some little, I know, y'all are about to laugh at me. She has some little like raspberries along the side of the cake. I'll let you see it in all its glory. Mark this time now because it's gonna be a lot better next time. This is the top. So this is what the cake looks like. And now the moment of truth is, what does it taste like? I have 2 plates here because I'm gonna serve myself a plate and I'm also gonna give my husband a piece. I will say the edges are like a little crispy. It's kind of giving me like pancake a little bit with the crispy edges. So I'm cutting out a piece here and I'm just cut this down the middle because he's not like a huge sweets person. All right, let's see how it looks. That's how it looks when you cut it. It doesn't look that dry, which is, you know, I'm happy about that. Let's do a taste test. It's not bad at all. Very strong raspberry taste, which I'm learning in real time might not be my favorite, but the cake itself is moist. It tastes great. The frosting tastes great. I might actually try this next time with the orange marmalade fruit spread that I have from As Ever. But the cake itself is moist. It's good. For like first time baking, solid job. Decorating, gonna need a lot of work. So there you have it, guys. I tried this cake. I won't say I failed at the cake. I actually just asked my husband off camera what he would rate this out of 10, and he said a 7 because it's my first go at it. Now, is he adding a little bit on it because he's my husband? Probably, but that made me feel good. That means I only have 3 points until I make a perfect 10 out of 10 cake. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, you have done it again, okay? You have inspired me. You've influenced me. I have your fruit spread right here. I've made your cake. Do not laugh at me when you see this cake. If this is your first time here, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Not only do I make a fool out of myself by attempting to make recipes that I see on TV, I also talk a lot about TV, and I also interview your favorite actors and reality stars about what they like to watch when they're not on screen as well. All of that goes down right here on this YouTube channel. So if you are not subscribed yet, please do. And if you are subscribed, share the channel with the friends if you think they would also enjoy some of my antics. I'm about to clean up my kitchen and then take a nap because I feel like I've done a day's worth of labor by making this cake. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.